Welcome everyone to another session of webinar discussing different naturopathy ways to boost immunity. Throughout the series, we have been receiving multiple questions, but were unable to attend those due to time constraints. Hence, this session is dedicated to answering those questions. We'll start addressing the already submitted questions, but you can also send your queries by commenting during the live session. Today, we have Dr. Srikanth H.S, who is Senior Naturopath with the Institute, and our Chief Yoga Officer, Dr. Rajeev Rajesh. So the very first question is from a 48-year-old man suffering from diabetes type 2. So doctor, what is your advice about the diet? We'll start with Dr. Srikanth.
The diabetes already well-known disease, very common too, and everyone who already have diabetes have done their PhD on it. So this is one of the major metabolic disorder, so which is mainly related to metabolism. So metabolism means nothing but food and exercise. So both are in equal quantity. You should be managing. So food means major thing comes in the mind is sugar, that is glucose or carbohydrate, what you say. So first thing you'll advise to avoid sugar, reduce taking rice, carbohydrates, etc.
Right.
But each and every food item which you consume, like rice, wheat, or java, ragi, whatever it is, contains carbohydrates.
Right.
So it is not that you should completely eliminate from your diet. So you should have in a smaller quantity. So take lesser quantity of your roti or chapati, whatever it is, and more quantity of green leafy vegetables, fruits, other things.
Right.
And second thing is fiber. So intake of fiber, generally rice doesn't contain fiber, that's the reason everyone generally rejects it. But unpolished rice or brown rice generally have good amount of fiber, which helps you to slowly distribute the glucose level to your body.
Right.
So consume in a lesser way with a good fiber. Even green leafy vegetables have good amount of fiber in it. Second thing is fruits. So there is a misconception that fruits have more sugar. So it's not that. Fruits have fructose rather than glucose. Again, like fiber, fructose generally releases the glucose very slowly. Means it has to convert to glucose, then gradually it has to release to the body. So hence, consume more of fruits, more of green leafy vegetables, less of grains, preferably the rice, wheat, or whatever it is. So that will help in overcoming the diabetes.
Absolutely. So your take here is eat lots of green leafy vegetables, increase the intake of fibers, and don't be afraid of consuming fruits that thinking that it will have lots of sugar.
Yeah.
It more of a it has a fructose which is more helpful or which is required for the body. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. Siva, you want to add anything to it?
Well, you see, the person is suffering from type 2 diabetes.
Right.
Now, type 2 diabetes develops when the body becomes resistant to insulin and sugar builds up in the blood. Now, lifestyle factors like being overweight or leading sedentary life can increase the risk for type 2 diabetes. So I would suggest practices like Surya Namaskar, which is very, very important practice because Surya Namaskar creates balance in the nervous system and in the endocrine glands.
Right.
It improves the metabolism. It improves the blood circulation.
Right.
It helps to reduce the insulin resistance and increase the glucose uptake by the cells. So it's a very, very important practice for people who suffer from type 2 diabetes. Besides this, practices like Ardha Matsyendrasana or practice like Vakrasana or Pijak Bhujangasana, Pavan Muktasana, then Paschimottanasana, Mandukasana, they create pressure on in the abdominal region. These practices improve the blood circulation and also reduces the insulin resistance. So again, these are some other practices which are recommended. Practices like Kapal Bhati and Bhastrika improves the metabolism and they help to burn the fat from the body. Also, it improves the glucose uptake by the body cells. So pranayam like Kapal Bhati and Bhastrika are recommended. Anulom Vilom, I said that it can be because of stress also.
Right.
Problem can happen because of stress. So Anulom Vilom is a pranayam that helps to reduce your stress. It helps to reduce the cortisol level. So uh, again, this is very, very important because if you have stress, then there is a possibility that you will become more insulin resistant, you know.
Right.
So these are some practices that I would recommend for people suffering from type 2 diabetes.
Right. So the key here you mean is practice asanas and pranayama. And doctor, you are recommending that consume lots of green vegetable, increase the intake of fiber, and don't be afraid of consuming fruits. Right. Okay. So we have another question from a 50 years old suffering from high blood pressure from past 5 years. What is your advice to him, doctor?
See, hypertension is also a synonymous of metabolic disorder.
Right.
So, where heart is majorly functioning in this condition. So, heart means hypertension is again it's a pressure over the arteries by the blood. That's what is hypertension. So, how it happens? So, because of there is a hyperstimulation or hyper pumping of the blood. So, from the heart, how it happens by again with the nervous system. So there are two things in the nervous system, mainly the autonomic nervous system, which again gives two kind of nerve, that is sympathetic and parasympathetic.
Right.
So everyone, I think, major people will be understanding what is sympathetic and parasympathetic because it's a common term in a medical language to tell as such nowadays. So sympathetic is it's a stimulation, like stimulating a particular organ in your body wherever it is, whatever it is, any organ it will stimulate. Parasympathetic is relaxes, means it suppresses or it relaxes your organ. Mainly when we come to hypertension, we tell it is a heart.
Right.
So we have to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system here. So either by yoga or by diet or by the naturopathy treatments. So what about diet? Diet we have in naturopathy, there are three kinds of diet. One is eliminative, soothing, and constructive diet. So eliminative diet helps to eliminate toxins from the body. Soothing diet is one of the more important thing in the hypertension, which calms down your mind and body and gives relaxation to the parasympathetic nervous system. Means stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system that relaxes your organs.
Right.
So the next thing to tell is the treatments. The treatment is nothing but calming down your nervous system. It is spinal bath we tell as such. So which you can't practice at home. So you can do chest pack, preferably cold chest pack. So that again stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system and reduces the activities in your body that relaxes your heart. Second thing is trauma pack. Again, tying a pack over the head. So it's a wet pack followed with a dry pack over with a woolen pack to maintain the temperature of the pack.
Right.
So that will help in overcoming the hypertension. So even here at our JNI, we have conducted a research on coronary risk factor. So which on the autonomic function test. So here also they say, means it came to know in research that our naturopathy treatments and yoga and naturopathy lifestyle generally helps to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. So thereby it helps in overcoming the hypertension and other metabolic disorders too.
Right. So, doctor, you mentioned there are 3 stages of diet in naturopathy.
Yes.
And you did specify those stages also. So, do you want to elaborate the kind of diet that they can consume and means how they will lead to do or how they will pass through that stage so that they can feel the effect of those diet.
See, mainly as I told you, it is a soothing diet.
Right.
Soothing diet means so it is mainly fruits and vegetables. Means it soothes your digestive system.
Absolutely.
And it is easily digestible food is also called as soothing diet, preferably soups. So it is no part of much of means digestion part, so just absorption part. So soups generally helps in hypertension as such. Second thing is like fruits. Fruits also very easily digestible. So avoid mainly fried food that again causes pressure on your heart, like increasing your cholesterol and other things. So avoid fried foods, any kind of deep fried, shallow fry, or whatever it is, then take more of leafy vegetables. So that generally helps in overcoming the
So they can,
hypertension.
so you're saying that within their normal diet they can modify or add these things
Yes.
to get the benefit of it.
Yes.
Right? Or you are recommending a particular routine of a diet. Let's say consume soup in the morning or consume soup with lunch, or based on your recommendation.
See, there is nothing like that. So whenever we are giving the diet chart, it has been consistent. Means if I tell here, it is not a proper thing. I feel as such,
Right.
because it's a general thing what I am saying.
Mhm.
But if they have a multiple problems, then it is a difficult thing as such. So soups can be consumed anytime in a day, like
Mhm.
along with the breakfast or lunch or dinner.
Mhm.
So, and consume lots of liquids throughout the day, preferably
Right.
drinking lots of water or
Mhm.
buttermilk, milk, or soups,
Right.
anything like this,
Mhm.
or fruit juices will be helpful.
Absolutely. So Rajivji, what you want to suggest for for the person who is suffering from blood pressure from past 5 years and he's 50 years of age?
See, yoga has been found to be very effective for people who suffer from mild to moderate high blood pressure.
Right.
Practices like Talasana, Trikonasana, Kati Chakrasana,
Mhm.
Vakrasana, Bhujangasana, Ardha Pavan Muktasana, Markatasana.
Right.
These practices have been found to improve the blood circulation. They
Mhm.
strengthen the muscles of the heart. And if your heart is strong, it can pump blood with less effort. As
Absolutely.
a result of which, the force on arteries will reduce, and that will help in lowering the blood pressure.
Right.
Moreover, the flexibility, I mean the elasticity of the blood vessels will improve when you do the practice. When you age or when you
Right.
don't exercise, then there is reduction in the elasticity of the blood vessels.
Right.
Again, what doctor has said that uh, uh, the, the main aim is to create balance in the autonomic nervous system. So practices like Anulom Vilom Pranayam and Bhramari Pranayam, this helps to bring balance in the autonomic nervous system, and create more of, but there is more of parasympathetic dominance, so it provides relaxation to the body.
Right.
Again, when you do the practice, it helps you to control the weight, which is again an important factor to control high blood pressure. So I would say that along with the medication, whatever the doctor has prescribed to you, if you practice 30 minutes of asana and pranayama,
Right.
that will help you to control the blood
Absolutely.
pressure.
So proper food intake, as advised by our doctor, and proper 30, at least 30 minutes of yoga, asanas, or pranayama is what you are recommending to the gentleman, right? Okay. So next question is from one of the participants who is more concerned about the aged parents. So her father is 76 years and mother is 74. Both are stressed due to lockdown. They are not suffering from any kind of health issues. It's more of a that she is concerned about how she can help her parents to boost their immunity. So what is your advice for, let's say, to generalize this? What is your advice? How senior person can look after their health, or what all things they can do to boost their immunity within the lockdown phase or during the quarantine period?
Yes, actually, uh, the older age generally the lowers the immunity.
Right.
So because our body is more exhausted during our adulthood, so it will be more into the low immunity in the older age.
Right.
As such. So here during the old age, generally their exercise level will become less. Their wear and tear of the body will be more because of stiffness in their body or because of overstress in their mind, all those things. So coming to the diet part, I will tell you.
Yeah.
First thing is like they should have a very easily digestible food because their digestive system is weak, so they can't able to digest the harder food. So simple food like you can go with khichdi or dalia, or you can go with as I told you the soups, easily digestible things, fruits, vegetables.
Right.
And as they are not much exercising, mainly due to this COVID also, they may not go outside the home also, at least for walking, they used to go, they are not going.
Right.
So due to that, so at least they should skip one meal, means 2 meals a day. We generally recommend 2 meals a day. Like how it is told previously, like Ekabhuktam, Yogi, Dvibhuktam, Bhogi, Tribhuktam is Rogi. So it should not be a Rogi whenever you are old age. So it should be a Bhogi at least.
Right. So I think it translates to having 1 meal in a day is
Yogi,
and then having 2 meal in a day is
Bhogi. That
right.
means you are more. It's like a Rajasic food, we can say.
Right.
3 meals in a day will
Right.
cause you the disease.
Right. So you recommended having 2 meals in a day in this case.
Yes.
That's why you want to suggest any yoga asanas for senior citizens.
Well, considering their age, first I would suggest them to do the joints exercise, which we call as a Sukshma Vyayam, which helps to release the energy blockages on the joints. Then I would recommend the practice of Tadasana, because Tadasana helps to improve the blood circulation, and not only blood circulation, circulation of lymph, which will be very, very important for them, you know. Then practice like Hastuttanasana works on the lungs and the heart. Again, I would recommend practice like Pavan Muktasana, as Doctor has mentioned, that they generally develop digestive issues. So Pavan Muktasana is a wind releasing pose, and it helps to improve the bowel movement. And generally, elderly people suffer from these issues, so they should definitely do Pavan Muktasana. And again, I would recommend the spinal twisting pose, Markatasana, to improve the health of the spine. Besides this, I would recommend them the practice of Bhramri Pranayam, because Bhramri helps to reduce the stress and tension. Besides reducing the stress and tension, boosts the immune function. That is why Bhramri is an important practice for them.
Right. So Bhramri Pranayam and having meals at least 2 times in a day. 2 times in a day. Okay. So we have another similar question from a housewife. She's more concerned about her son and daughter, who is 10 and 13 years of age respectively. So what is your suggestion? How can children who have been under lots of stress during this lockdown, they were not able to go out. They are also children generally seems to be fussy about the food as well. So do you have any recommendation how can this be improved? The food through food combined with treatment, plus how their stress can be brought down.
See, as 100%, it is very difficult to control the kids whenever they are at home, because when they go to school, you won't come to know they're not in this.
Right.
100%, each and every child is a fussy about their food. So what you have to do is a very simple task. What I have learned is make them to prepare their own food. Example, if they are fussy about the roti.
Right.
So, along with you, whenever you are preparing the roti, so make them just to do some help to you, like putting some water whenever you are mixing the roti dough, or whenever you are preparing, just to make them to give them to mix the dough as such.
Right.
So, or to wash the vegetables, whichever their favorite vegetables. Tell them to take some vegetables from the in the stores from you in your home, and tell them to wash it and keep it for the cutting and all those things. Simple things. When they do all these things, they'll be very happy to have whatever they have done it. That is the first thing.
Right.
Second thing is give them a glass of milk to improve their immunity as such. Milk with turmeric and honey, which is generally improves the immunity of a child. But don't make like a kada and give, or make like medicine and give. So make it a little bit tastier by adding some honey or jaggery. So this one also will help them, and make them to indulge in their own activities, whichever their favorite is, like some art or co-curricular activities, all those things. So their stress level generally reduces with that, and they can gain a good immunity.
Right. Excellent. And Rajeev, do you want to suggest any pranayama or yoga?
You see, the coronavirus pandemic has not just affected the elderly people; it has also affected the life of children. Now, they are the 10-year-old children and 13-year-old.
Right.
At this time, when the immunity is still developing, and if you watch the television, you will find that every day about 65 to 70,000 people are getting coronavirus. The mother cannot allow the children to go even to the playground.
Yes.
Now, playing, laughing, making fun, these are the inherent qualities of a child.
Right.
And when they are not able to enjoy their life, they will definitely feel stress, and that will have an impact on the immunity as well. See, yoga is a way of healthy living. So I would suggest, and it does not work on the physical level. It also works at the mental level, at the emotional level. So teach them. If one practice you have to teach them Surya Namaskar.
Right.
Surya Namaskar will help to boost their immune function. It will improve the function of the digestive system. It will improve the function of lungs and heart. Then again, so far pranayama is concerned, I would say that Anulom Vilom will be one of the best practice for them. It's a balancing pranayama. Besides providing enough of oxygen and expelling out the carbon dioxide from the body, Anulom Vilom pranayama also helps to improve their vitality. Anulom Vilom pranayama also helps to improve their concentration and memory, which will help them in their studies. Then, then, then laughter exercises become very common nowadays. Teach them some laughter techniques which will make them happy. So these are certain things that you can teach to your child.
Okay, great. So for all the mothers out there, engage your children in preparing their own food. You can also ask them, help you. Give them milk with turmeric and honey as suggested by doctor, and ask them to practice Surya Namaskar. You can also involve with them and practice Surya Namaskar and Anulom Vilom. Okay, that's the key. Okay, and Siva, which pranayama practice can help boost immunity?
Well, Abhishek, I think all pranayama helps to boost the immunity. We have talked about Bhramri pranayama. We have talked about Anulom Vilom pranayama. They are very important pranayama to boost the immunity.
Right.
Then if a person does not suffer, because Anulom Vilom and Bhramri is two practices which can be done by everyone. If a person is not suffering from high blood pressure or cardiac ailment or peptic ulcer or epilepsy or hernia, then I would suggest the practice of Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati is a practice that helps to clean the nasal passages of mucus and the lungs of carbon dioxide. It is very effective practice in respiratory illnesses. Then it also helps to provide massaging effect to the internal organs, especially to the liver, to the pancreas, to the intestine, to the stomach. And at the same time, it helps to improve the circulation of lymph through the vessels and through the lymph nodes. So it helps in lymphatic drainage. That's why I feel that this will be a very important practice. Beside Anulom Vilom and Bhramri pranayama, this Kapalbhati will be very effective practice.
Okay, great. So I hope participants, you have made a note of it. So our next question is about sleeplessness. It means we understand, the kind of situation we all are, involved in now, surrounded by. Everyone is suffering from, let's say, either stress, which is leading to maybe sleeplessness and other related diseases also. So, doctor, what is your suggestion? Homemade treatment or anything you want to suggest?
Yes, as we told, stress is one of the major cause for the sleeplessness. So first, what you have to do is make your biological clock, circadian rhythm, in the proper way. Means early to bed, early to rise. It's the main key part of getting out of the sleeplessness.
Yes.
Right. 1 or 2 days you may be feeling difficult, but later you'll be overcoming your sleeplessness problem. First thing. Next thing is causes. So as it is already told, stress. Second thing is it may be in some abdominal disorders like some acidity, gas, indigestion also causes sleeplessness. Then third thing is you're watching your mobile or working overnight or watching your laptop, TVs. Nowadays, because of being at home, keep watching TV whenever you have time, and you don't know when you are asleep and when you get up.
Right.
So you have to keep this away. That will help you. And coming to that, as I told you, it should be a soothing diet. So drinking a cup of milk before bed generally help you to overcome this sleeplessness problem, which includes means it increases your sleep sleep pattern. And second thing is coming to the treatment. Some of the treatments you can to follow. Coming to the naturopathy, you can follow this hot foot immersion. Okay, so that generally induces a sleep, means diverting the circulation from the brain, and it will help to induce the sleep, which also helps. Then like trauma pack, which I have even told you in the hypertension management, The same way you can do the trauma pack also will help you, but don't do the trauma pack at night. Do it in any other day, day, some noon or morning or anything.
Okay, got it. Right. So Rajiv ji, so we have next question from a loving husband who is more concerned about his wife. His wife is 52 years and she gets swelling and stiffness in the joints. And the loving husband is looking for any kind of asanas that you can, suggest as a treatment for his wife.
Well, it's very generalized. She has asked for joints. She has not mentioned which of the joint is affected. But anyway, if you have stiffness in the joint, it is very important that you strengthen the muscles around those joints. Say, for example, if it is the knee joint, then your aim should be to strengthen the quadricep muscle, which is on the front of the thigh, the hamstring, which is at the back of the thigh, the calf muscle, and also the gluteal muscles. Because with these joints, the muscle pulls the joint and the movement happens in a particular direction.
Right.
So when you strengthen the joint, it will help to stabilize that particular joint. Moreover, when you practice asana or if you do any physical exercise, that will help you to improve the mobility of that joint. The circulation of blood and lubricants will improve toward that joint. So that it will get proper nutrition and it will start healing up. If you don't join, the muscle will become more stiff. Later on you will feel pain in that particular joint, and gradually the deterioration will keep on happening. So to prevent the deterioration to happen, it is important that you involve that joint. You do some action. You move those joints, right, so that the muscles around them become stable and strong.
Right. So mobility is what you are, recommending, involving into that in different kind of movements.
Strengthening the muscle and improving the mobility. Water exercise is a very, very good exercise. Just walking inside the water in the pool, that will help in improving the flexibility and strength of the joint.
Okay, great. And doctor, you want to suggest any treatment?
See, mainly for the joint pains, there are two things as he told. One is strengthening the joints, and second thing is relieving the symptoms. So relieving the symptoms as such, we can say that it is giving some hot fermentation to the particular joint. As they are not mentioned particular joint, I can say it is a hot fermentation, or some oil application like mustard oil or any painkiller oil which you get from any Ayurveda, and you can give the hot fermentation. And even we generally in the institute we use mustard pack. So I think it is very difficult who don't know what is mustard pack. So you can use a mustard oil application, that will be more than enough. And coming to the diet part, to strengthen the joint, you can use some good amount of protein diet, like dal soups, and sprouts, which generally helps in strengthening the joint.
Okay. So Siva, our next question is about the modern day problem. You understand the way business environment has shaped up. Now everyone is used to sitting 10 to 12 hours in front of their computers or laptops, right? Which leads to stress in the spine and different other related problems. Do you want to suggest any yoga asanas or any asanas that can help improve their posture?
Like if you sit for a long time and if you don't maintain the right posture, then it can affect the muscles of the back. Our spine has got normal curve. It has got curvature. In the neck, it is slightly inward. Even in the lower back, it is slightly inward. Whereas in the thoracic region, it is slightly there is an outward curve. So maintenance of normal curvature is important because it helps to absorb the shock and also for the spinal health. So when you're working in front of a laptop or if you're even doing the desk job, it is important that you should make it a habit of sitting tall. Use your core to pull up the lower abdomen slightly up, even the pelvic floor. Keep your head straight when you're working in front of the computer. And the first line of the monitor should be at the level of the eyes. Then your neck should be straight. Your shoulders should be relaxed. It should not curve. So pull your shoulders back. And in order to pull it back, you should bring your the keypad closer to the body, and the forearm. This is the forearm. It should be slightly lower than the elbow. And then your feet should be on the floor, and if your feet is not reaching to the ground, then you can use the footrest. I suggest one very important practice for everyone. It's not only just for people who suffer from, who sits and does a lot of work in front of computer or does a desk job. Tadasana is a very, very important practice.
Right.
It helps to release the compressional effect from the intervertebral joints. It improves the blood circulation throughout the body. It improves the function of almost all the organs of the body because it improves the blood circulation to each and every organ of the body. So Tadasana is one practice. Second practice which I recommend for people who does the desk job or works in front of computer is the practice of Bhujangasana. Bhujangasana helps to strengthen the back muscle. It will help to strengthen the vertebral joints. Then it also improves the function of, strength of abdominal muscle, the thoracic muscle, shoulders and arm. It will improve your breathing ability also. So
Right.
these are two important practices for everyone.
Okay. So, doctor, what is the diet that you want to recommend for obesity?
See, obesity again is a metabolic disorder. So again related to metabolism. So diet means you have to consume lots of vegetables again. So reduce the this one carbohydrates and take more of vegetables. Second thing is, so you have to go with the 2 meals a day, as I told you.
Right.
So because that overall consumption of calorie will become less here. Okay. Consume lots of water so that it eliminates the toxins from the body. So consuming minimum 2 to 3 liters in a day is ideally good. So what we tell as such. So and practice the dinacharya what we say. That is Brahmi Muhurte Uttishtam Ushapanam Dantadhavanam Malamutra Visarjanam Shirasnanam. So like this. So get up in the early morning, then Ushapanam means drinking a good amount of water so that your toxins will be relieved. Then brush your teeth, clean your stomach, and take bath. Then prarthanam, that is prayer. So Ishta Devata Prarthanam, whichever your favorite god, you can pray for them. And Swadhyaya, self-study. Self-study means, so what is good to you, so which don't give you the stress. So you have to study those things, or you have to work on those things so that you'll get the more success.
Right. And what is your recommendation for someone who has undergone bypass surgery and is more concerned about cholesterol management?
The bypass surgery is what we have to do is it's a rejuvenation process what we have to do because they already gone through all the damages in their body. So now we have to rejuvenate whatever damages happened. So for that, what you have to do is, so regularly you have to take a very soothing diet, then constructive diet. First eliminate, then soothe, then constructive. Construction means whatever damages happened, you have to construct those things. So constructing again leads to protein diet and soothing diet. Again, it's a very simple digestive food like sattvic food, what we say in the yoga. Then avoid oil preferably.
Right.
Oil, deep fried, because it again deposits the cholesterol in your arteries. So and exercise. So yoga is also one of the best thing. You have to do the exercise regularly. So whether it is a 5 minutes or a half an hour, but you have to do exercise compulsory every day.
Right. So following a healthy lifestyle and doing a regular practice of yoga, asanas, or pranayama, or even indulging in some kind of other exercise also is what you are recommending. CYO, what are the asanas that you recommend for improving the digestive system?
Well, you see, the problem of digestive system is because of our poor eating habit, because of leading unhealthy and stressful life, because of lack of physical activity. So, so for yoga is concerned, I would recommend 3 things. Your inner lining of the digestive system is very, very sensitive to the functioning of the mind. So if your mind is irritated or it is disturbed, then it will affect the absorption, the digestion of food and the absorption of food.
Right.
So practice of pranayam like Anulom Vilom, as I've mentioned, Bhramari pranayam, they have relaxing effect on the mind. They reduce the stress and tension. Meditation again, it helps to reduce your tension. So Anulom Vilom, Brahmari, meditation are important. Then practices like Pavan Muktasan, Markatasan, Bhujangasan, or Vakrasan, they help to improve the blood circulation towards your digestive organ.
Right.
The better the blood flow, the stronger the digestive system. So it will help in improving the peristaltic movement, and and that will encourage the movement of stool out of the body.
Right.
If your digestive system is circulation is not good enough toward the digestive organ, then the organ will not function properly. The food will remain for a longer duration of time, and you will suffer from problems like bloating, gas, and constipation.
Right. Okay. So, doctor, what is your recommendation for controlling means loose motion, or someone who has digestive issues?
See, as he told, you have to strengthen the digestive system as
Right.
such. So first thing is, so who has weak digestive system, they have to preferably go with some of the simple techniques like abdomen pack. So this will help in overcoming the acidity part or improper digestion, all those things. So tying a abdomen pack on the abdomen generally improves the circulation to the digestive system,
Right.
probably the intestines, stomach, all those things. To improve the circulation generally helps in curing the particular thing. And even proper secretion, because digestion starts from the mouth. Whenever you have a digestive issues, chew properly. That is more important. Take your time, chew properly, mix the food with saliva, and then eat. That will help in proper digestion.
Okay.
And drinking lots of water generally digest it, and even also it helps in eliminating easily good fiber and good vitamins, minerals. So all those things generally helps in making a proper bolus of the stool to eliminate from the system.
Okay, so do you want to add anything to the same, means to your same recommendation, but for someone who is suffering from heartburn, and she also mentions that she is not consuming too many of spices?
See, yeah, because any digestive diseases won't happen all of a sudden.
Right.
It is because of your previous karma, whatever you have done throughout your life.
Right.
And even it won't go all of a sudden also. You have to, it's like a small baby. You have to treat it like a baby, and you have to grow it slowly.
Right.
So what you can do immediately as a small thing, so you can take a small cup of, half a cup of ice water, and you can sip gradually, like tea and coffee, how you drink, like you have to sip it. So that generally helps to reduce the heartburn as well as the acidity as such.
Right.
And second thing is you put an ice pack or a cold pack or a mud pack. This generally helps on the keeping on the abdomen.
Okay, and I believe the same is so in terms of the digestive, when it comes to acidity, heartburn, constipation, or loose motion, I believe the recommendations that you both have mentioned will really help. You want to add anything, Sivayo?
See, the person has mentioned that she gets loose motion after she takes the food.
Right.
So the body is not getting the proper nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the aim of yoga will be that to improve the digestion and also the absorption of food. So practice of asana like Vakrasan, Pavan Muktasan, Markatasan, or Bhujangasan, this will help to improve the function of digestive system and improve in the absorption of the food.
Right.
Remember, many times if you do exercise or you do some difficult physical work just after eating food, then also such kind of condition happens. In marathon runners, if you remember, Abhishek, in marathon runner also after they run and then when they take the food, immediately the loose motion happens. So they're not getting proper nutrition. So immediately they should not do physical exercise or any practice of asana immediately after taking the food. At least there should be a gap of 4 to 5 hours.
Right. So Siva, doctor, we have many more questions, but I believe we have limited time to take all of those. So doctor, what are your 3 simple naturopathy tips that can be followed from home, or that can be followed considering this situation?
The 3 important tips is, first thing is diet. So that should be consumed very less according to your hunger. So eat when you are hungry. That's what
Right.
the naturopathy says.
Mm-hmm.
So eat only 2 meals a day and take lots of vegetables, fruits, other things.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is the treatments like mud pack or jelly pack. You can use it. So on the abdomen every day for 15 to 20 minutes. Or you can do an abdomen pack. Also will help in overcoming your problems of digestive issues. As we believe in digestive issue is the major culprit to implement the toxins in your body.
Right.
So avoid toxins by doing all those things. And third thing is uh, do like hot foot immersion, facial steam, gargling as the coronavirus thing to overcome these things. So
Right.
clean your nasal passage, take a
Mhm.
facial steam. All those things generally help you to overcome your problems.
Okay. Siva, what are your important guidelines whenever someone is practicing yoga or pranayama?
Well, there are a few very important guidelines. Number one, that one should do the practice in a neat and clean place, in a
Mhm.
well ventilated place. Then it must be done in empty stomach. It can be done at any time of the day, but in empty stomach. And that is why I suggest that morning is the best time to do the practice, because your stomach is empty. You can focus toward the practice in a better way. Then I would also say that regularity in the practice is very important. That doing today and not doing tomorrow, and then again doing for 15 minutes some other day, this is not going to help. Yoga ultimately is a way of living. It should be done done every day. Every day. Number two, it's very important that the practice should be done mindfully,
Right.
not mechanically. Then the effect of the practice is gone. So do it mindfully in empty stomach. Coordinate the body movement with the breathing. Whenever you lift the body above the ground in any practice, you have to inhale. And in the final position, you must breathe normally. Whenever you bring the body down toward the ground, you must exhale. So these are some very important things that they have to keep in mind when they are doing the practice of asana.
Okay. Thank you, Siva. Thank you very much. So the key learning from, as doctor, what you said was eat whenever you feel hungry. Don't eat randomly. Use mud pad, jelly pack, clean nasal passages. Right.
Yes.
Follow naturopathy. Engage yourself. Do some activities. Do yoga asanas. Do pranayama. And when they are doing, you are saying that CIO, they should practice the yoga asanas or pranayama at neat and clean place. It
Right.
should be practiced only during empty stomach, only with empty stomach, and it should be done mindfully. That is, they
That's very
should be
important.
part of it.
That
They
is
should
very
engage
important.
with it.
That's very
Right. So I hope participants this was helpful for you. We will have another webinar on 5th of September wherein we will try addressing more questions. You can also be part of our live yoga session, which is telecasted daily at 8 a.m. on our Facebook page. Thank you very much.